Accessories. So you want to buy an OLED Steam Deck, but you're worried about what accessories you'll be able to use. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you what accessories you'll be able to use and what you should use. Here's a fun little secret. Most accessories that don't go inside of your Steam Deck, they'll work just fine. Your docks, your carrying cases, controllers, chargers, slip-on cases, audio gear, screen protectors, most if not all of those will work just fine. Some of them may work even better because the Steam Deck can now charge faster and controllers can now wake the system up from sleep, and generally better Bluetooth audio latency. But there's a number of accessories that probably won't work. The first of which, of course, are Hall effect stick modules. The Steam Deck OLED comes with a number of different changes to the internals, and Linus Tech Tips has confirmed that they have redesigned the PCBs for the sticks. So as of right now, any existing kits will not work. The hope is that these companies will create a new Hall effect stick module that works with the OLED. So until then, don't expect to mod your Steam Deck sticks anytime soon. Also worth mentioning is Deck HD. I don't think there's a single person out there that wants to install Deck HD after seeing how good the OLED is. Yeah, it has a higher resolution, but now it doesn't have the advantage of having better colors anymore. Not to mention the OLED Steam Deck screen can go up to 90Hz and in certain cases can be more power efficient. What is worth mentioning is that Deck HD's main selling point, the higher resolution, is a double-edged sword. It's got a higher resolution, but the higher resolution may consume more power, and some games will run worse at the higher resolution, forcing you to go back down to 800p. You can still swap SSDs out of the Steam Deck. In fact, it may be easier because you're no longer using self-tapping screws. What is worth mentioning is that the motherboard has the SSD oriented in a different direction. For those of you who have modded your Steam Deck to incorporate a 2280 sized SSD, you'll likely have to redesign your entire mod. Yes, there's a mad lad out there modifying his own Steam Deck with 32GB of RAM. Alex Swanson, the main guy that does the 32GB mods, says that it may be possible, but the issue is that the chips are just difficult to source. He also modded in Wi-Fi 6 into his main Steam Deck, but that's no longer necessary because the Steam Deck OLED comes with Wi-Fi 6E as well. There are also some preliminary tests for shell replacements, and unfortunately it seems like those shell replacements are not compatible with the OLED Steam Deck, so it seems you'll have to wait until they make OLED specific shells. I suspect it's like a difference in mounting holes and all of that good stuff. Okay, so we went over all of the stuff that may not work on the Steam Deck and stuff that will definitely work on the Steam Deck. So now let's talk about things you should actually get for your Steam Deck. The first Steam Deck accessory you should definitely buy is a micro SD card. I mean, yes, I know every person with a Steam Deck and their mother has a micro SD card. But still, this may be someone's first Steam Deck, and they deserve to know which SD cards they should get. In this case, it's a toss-up between my two favorite options, the SanDisk Extreme or the Sabrent Rocket. Which of these should you get? Well, you should get whatever's cheaper when it comes time to buy it. Whichever one of these two is on sale, grab that one, preferably a 1TB model if you can. The next accessory you should buy is a Steam Deck dock of some sort. Valve currently has a sale going on for the Steam Deck dock, but there are cheaper docks out there. There are also better docks out there too. Docks with more functionality, etc, etc. Docks that are portable, docks that aren't portable. The docks I would consider are the JSOX M.2 dock in case you need a dock, and of course, the Steam Deck dock. There's also a JSOX RGB dock that you should consider as well. You know, speaking of docks, if you're gonna get a dock, you should also get a controller as well. What is cool is that if you already own a wireless Bluetooth controller or even one that hooks up via USB, then it probably already works with your Steam Deck. All major first-party controllers from all the console manufacturers, you know, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, all of their current controllers work on Steam Deck perfectly with no issues whatsoever. Got a Switch Pro controller? Got a DualSense? Got an Xbox Series X controller? They all work with no issue whatsoever. If you have a Steam controller, bless your heart, then you can use that as well. In fact, it supports all of the Steam controller features, given that, you know, it's a Steam controller. There are also plenty of other third-party peripherals that work just fine. I've reviewed quite a few of them. Fight sticks, no big deal. DJ turntables, no big deal. Third-party controllers, no big deal. Technically speaking, you don't even need a dock to make use of the Bluetooth controllers out there. There's a good chance you probably have a controller out there that works on the Steam Deck, so just give it a shot. The next accessory you should get is a screen protector for your device. If you don't care about your screen, then why did you bother buying the OLED version of the Steam Deck? Get a screen protector and protect your screen. I know there's quite a few screen protectors out there, but the one I know for a fact works is the D brand screen protector. Next up is a decent pair of IEMs. You know, I like to take my Steam Deck with me whenever I travel and whatnot, and you know what? Some say you can just turn the volume all the way down and just play in silence, but that's stupid. Why do that when I can have the best of both worlds? Being totally isolated from everyone else and playing games with the audio on the way it was meant to be played. So there are a number of IEMs, and many of them I've featured on this channel. Many different IEMs have many different sound signatures depending on who you are. You may find some that fit your preference a lot better. The one pair of IEMs I like to travel with is the Echo Asgards, but those are quite expensive, so if you want a cheaper pair of IEMs, consider getting the Moondrop Arias. In fact, Moondrop is coming out with a Moondrop Aria too, which I haven't covered yet, so yeah, that might be a worthy consideration. So you may be asking, why not a pair of Bluetooth earbuds, especially since Valve improved the latency? Well, it's because Bluetooth still has latency. What more do you want me to say? Next up is a personal recommendation, but definitely consider getting some gallium nitrate chargers, especially the ones with multiple different ports. Yes, these are just alternative chargers and you don't need these. These are probably the most optional recommendation here. The main reason why I like them so much is because it consolidates all of my charging needs into one block and then maybe like a few wires. Like seriously, I just take one block with me and I take like 2 wires and I'm good. I can charge multiple devices at once. The higher powered blocks are even capable of charging devices like MacBooks, like entire laptops. Isn't that crazy? So instead of having separate chargers for your laptop, separate chargers for your game device, separate chargers for your phone, and a separate charger for like your Bluetooth earbuds or whatever, you can have one block do all of those theoretically at once, with enough wires of course. It is more preferable for a home use situation, especially you know in my case, given that I have to charge multiple devices at once to use them for multiple different videos, like an upcoming battery test, which I'll talk about later. That said, it is worth mentioning that the OLED Steam Deck comes with a larger charging cable, so if length was your main issue with the charging cable, then wow, Valve solved it. There also exists more compact blocks that charge one device at a time. Next up is a decent power bank. See, if you travel a lot, you're gonna want one, not just for your Steam Deck, but for all of your other devices as well, such as your phone. Recently, I got myself a Storm 2 charger along with some solar panels, and it's been a godsend ever since I got it. But there are multiple different batteries out there. Just be sure that you can charge and play on your Steam Deck at the same time with the battery, because there's quite a few that may not be able to do so. Keep in mind that there is an upper limit to battery capacity when it comes to traveling, so if you're looking to take one on an airplane, you'll need to get one that is below a certain capacity so that you can legally take it on an airplane, you know, to comply with TSA regulations. Next up is an external drive. You know, before SteamOS 3.5, using external drives was kind of clunky, but now it's super easy. Just plug it in and then you can format it if you want, but if you just plug it in, you can just immediately use it as sort of an external games drive, which is awesome. There are multiple different types of external drives. You know, they have USB Type-C flash drives that you can just plug in directly to your Steam Deck and it just works. But I've been moving more towards USB Type-C SSD enclosures, kind of like the Charge disk. In my own humble opinion, the Charge disk is the best way to recycle your old Steam Deck drive. Or you could buy a dedicated SSD and put it inside instead. The point is that you can use it like a big, oversized flash drive, and it is awesome. It's currently my favorite external SSD enclosure. And of course, last but certainly not least, is a carrying case for your Steam Deck. Yes, I know, every Steam Deck comes with a carrying case, and yes, I know the new OLED comes with a new carrying case that has a case within a case, basically. And I will say, yes, the included case is a lot nicer than the old case that the Steam Decks used to come with. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it comes with the 1TB models only, so if you get a 512GB OLED unit, you get the old case design. But I do think it has the same issues as the last case, being that there's no room for other accessories. So the main outer outer shell still has that back pouch, and yes, you can still use that same 3D printed jig in the back, but personally I prefer bags with more room to hold stuff in. My personal favorite of course being the Tomtoc carrying case, which if you've watched the channel, you know my opinion on it. It's like my favorite carrying bag for not just my Steam Deck, but any of my other handhelds. There's a lot of room for carrying a lot of things in there. But as for slim cases, I mean, it seems like the inside liner for the 1TB model does a pretty decent job. But in case you don't have one of those neat internal liners and you want a thinner case, Tomtoc also sells those too. And that about covers it for all the Steam Deck accessories I could possibly recommend to you as a new user. But as for Steam Deck hardcore enthusiast oriented recommendations for accessories, that'll probably have to wait until I get my own Steam Deck OLED, which orders are supposed to go up on the 16th, but I don't actually know when they're supposed to ship out, so who knows when that'll happen. If you like this video, please press the like button and check out our other videos. And if you like those other videos as well, be sure to press the subscribe button and share the good gospel of high-tech lowlife with your friends. Furthermore, we have a community Discord for enlightened individuals such as you. And if you wish to further support high-tech lowlife, be sure to check out our Patreon page. Links in the description.